So we are beginning a new cycle with the Shem angels, a new cycle with Vehuiah. And today is actually the last day of working with Vehuiah following this method of timing. Today, if you do, for those of you that would like to follow, those of you that are interested in cycling through all 72 of the Shem angels, beginning with Vehuiah, angel number 1, Vehuiah, right now with the sun in from 1 until 5 degrees of Aries. Those of you that are interested in cycling through the Shem angels, today is the last day of Vehuiah. Now, I just want to make clear that there are many different ways of working with the Shem angels and many different ways of using timing. And there are people that use no timing. So each and every person has to find their own way, and what works for them. So some people use no timing and seem to get results. Lazare Lenain also gives a 20-minute cycle in which one can work with any Shem angel on any day, but within the 20-minute cycle, for those that want to experiment with that. In addition, there is the method that I am using in which we follow the sun through the degrees of the tropical zodiac, in which we can cycle through all 72 angels of the Shem HaMephoresh in a year. But anyways, today is the last day of Vehuiah, and then tomorrow we'll be moving on to angel number 2 for a cycle of roughly 5 days. So Vehuiah, once again, this is Shem angel number 1, and Vehuiah is associated with learning. And also, Vehuiah helps with difficult undertakings. So Vehuiah helps with difficult undertakings. And there is a definite, martial aspect, at least according to Le Science Kabbalistique, or the Science of Kabbalah of Lazare Lenain. According to the Science of Kabbalah of Lazare Lenain, Vehuiah, again, we are now at angel number 1, Vehuiah. So, like I said, those of you that have been sitting on the sidelines, but you're interested in maybe cycling all the way through the Shem angels, we have now arrived at angel number 1, Vehuiah. Vehuiah has to do with difficult undertakings. And there's a martial aspect. Again, this is beginning Aries. So there is a martial kind of aspect to this. Kind of almost in a modern idea of martial in the sense of energy and drive and initiative, kind of that aspect of Aries. So I'll just read what the Science of Kabbalah has to say on this. And people can draw their own conclusions. So, Vehuiah, again, this Shem angel, according to Cornelius Agrippa, in the 16th century, in the 3 Books of Occult Philosophy, Agrippa says that the 72 Shem angels each govern 5 degrees of the zodiac, and this is largely interpreted in the tradition as Vehuiah beginning in Aries, okay? Following the tropical zodiac, the sun between 0 up until 5 degrees of Aries is Vehuiah. So, once again, there are many different ways of using timing, and there are some that use no timing. For those of you that want to follow the sun through the zodiac, as I've been doing, I found it to be very useful. And people don't have to start at Shem angel number 1. People could start anywhere. Technically, I started last September. Last September is when I started the cycle. I just jumped in. I think it was Rachel, or which one was it? It was in late September, early October that I started. Okay. And I've been going ever since. I've hit every single Shem Angel. So it's been about 6 months. And now we're in a, so I myself, I didn't start at number one. I just jumped midway in. So I just want to make clear to people that you don't have to start at Shem Angel number one. But those of you that wanted to wait till you get to number one to begin a proper cycle, yearly cycle, now the sun has reached the equinox and here we are. So today is the last day of Vehuiah. So those of you that want to jump in, not that you're too late, but now's the time to do it. Today's his last day, following this form of timing. So Vehuiah, according to the science of Kabbalah, and after I finish the video, I'm going to give a link to this. Once again, when I do give Amazon links, they are, monetized. Full disclosure. I do hashtag ad, so I do get compensated for if you do purchase using my links, Amazon links. Basically, I get a commission. Full disclosure. So this is what the science of Kabbalah says. The person born under the influence of this genius, again, it's talking about Vehuiah. The person born under the influence of this genius has a skillful nature. They are blessed with great wisdom, a lover of the arts and sciences, capable of undertaking and executing the most difficult things, having a love for military service due to the influence of Mars, having abundant energy due to the dominance of fire. So this is a little wonky because normally with the Shem Angels it gives like an office. This just jumps into someone born under the influence. But what we can take from this is that Vehuiah governs the arts and sciences, so learning, and is good for difficult undertakings. And there's a martial aspect of like butting into a situation, having abundant energy, the dominance of fire and Mars. So think of it this way. This is Shem Angel number one. And Shem Angel number one, he starts off the whole year. This is the initial fire or spark of energy that sets the whole thing. This is the Vehuiah sets the whole year in motion. Okay, so it's that spark of energy or will. So I think right now is a really good time to think about what are we wanting to set in motion for this year. Because there is such a thing as cause and effect, and because the seeds of our actions do eventually reap the harvest of results. What planned action though? What are we trying to bring to be this year? Okay, so this is a good time to think of that with Aries and Vehuiah. What are we trying to bring our energy into this year? Now, what would we ask Vehuiah for? Now, what I would like to do here is do a ritual with the viewer. So if you're watching live, we will do a ritual together. We'll do it together and we'll walk you through it. So today we're going to be doing a Shem Angel ritual. If you would like to participate live, and even if you're not watching live, even if you're watching later on, I want you to know that you can still participate in spirit, even if you're watching later on. We're all working this together, okay? So time is not necessarily a separator here. So we are working with Vehuiah. So whether live or not live, we're going to do this together in this video. And we're also going to take a look at the next Shem Angel of tomorrow, Jeliel. Okay, Jeliel. So we're going to look into that as well. And Jeliel, which starts tomorrow, just so that y'all know, Jeliel has to do with marital, like fidelity and reconciliation between couples, and has to do with like marital stuff. So, or things between like romantic partners or people that are having problems in relationships. Jeliel is really good, which is the next angel that starts tomorrow for 5 day cycle. So what I like to do and what I did is every 5 days, I work with another Shem angel. And what I do is I do one operation per angel. So just at some point in that 5 day period, usually at the hour of the sun, I will call on the Shem angel, call its name, recite the psalm verse, light the candle, have my interaction. So I do an operation every 5 days, and every time I ask for one thing. So it's my life, interestingly enough, my life has transformed in many, many ways, in ways that I cannot even, it's really amazing, because it's really interesting. You know, I'm, it's funny, I'm 39 years old, okay? I'm 39. And it's interesting that I started doing spells when I was 12. I was 12 years old. I still remember I was 12 years old and I did a love spell. It was a candle spell. And I remember it was a pink or red candle. I think I actually got my hands on somehow a pink candle. Was it a red candle? Anyways, I wrote the qualities of the person that I wanted, and I wrote it out, and I burned it. Anyways, it was my first spell. I was 12. I've been doing magic and experimenting with rituals and different traditions of magic for many years, my whole life. But I could say since I started working with the Shem angels, I've seen so many changes. It's been really phenomenal. And interestingly enough, a lot of the viewers, and looking in the comments, magic practitioners like myself, they've also noticed that with the Shem angels, they've noticed changes that they've never seen before in other forms of magic. You know, it's interesting. A few days ago, somebody commented a few days ago that, you know, angels are not very practical for practical stuff. He preferred like Kimbanda or like that type of thing for practical stuff. And I'm like, no, you know, look, everybody's got their own method. But I've been working with spells and witchcraft and magic and things for many, decades, literally, like hardcore practicing different things and tinkering, and I found the Shem angels to be very practical. But anyways, enough of that. So today is Vehuiah. We're gonna do this together, y'all. Vehuiah is Shem angel number 1. Vehuiah again. Let's think for a moment. What do we need within this angel's office? One thing that I like to think about is Vehuiah can help with what we're trying to achieve this year. That's a really good way to work with Vehuiah. Think of, what am I trying to achieve this year? That's a good way to work with Vehuiah, because he deals with difficult undertakings, and he is the one that sets the year in motion, okay? He is Shem Angel 1. I think it's good to think for to insert here like goal for the year, any difficult undertakings. Also, Vehuiah also deals with learning. If nothing else, then if you could also work with Vehuiah for any kind of learning, arts and sciences, okay? So, what we're going to do is we're going to call the angel's name, okay? If you would like to light a candle, those of you that would like to take part, if you would like to light a candle, we're going to work with Vehuiah together, okay? So, actually give me just a second. I'm going to go ahead and light my candle. All right. So, give me just a second here, because I take this stuff very seriously. To me, magic, this is the thing, to me it's something that, I take it seriously. So I'm going to light a candle real quick, and get my stuff. So give me just a second. And any of y'all, if you want, if those of you that are watching live or watching later on, either way, I encourage you to grab a candle as well, or some incense. Grab a candle and incense, and I'm going to do the same. We're going to invoke an angel, y'all. We're going to do some Shem angel magic. Let's make it happen, y'all. All right, I'll be right back, y'all. All right. And I did, all right. It's funny because this is, all right. So here we go, y'all. We're going to invoke an angel. So, Vehuiah. Now, I just want to reiterate that there are people that use no timing with Shem angels and they get good results, or they claim to, and they seem to get good results. And there are many other ways of using timing, so I don't want people to ever think that I'm saying this is the only way. But my method that I mostly use is to follow the sun through the degrees of the tropical zodiac, so as that one can work through all 72 Shem angels in a year. And today we're working with Shem Angel 1. So you've actually caught, if you're watching this video, you're catching us with angel number 1. Okay? We're about to begin a whole year cycle together. So I think if anybody that just started watching these videos, this is fortuitous. Okay, so here we go. First of all, the name of a spirit is something powerful in itself, okay? The name. Vehuiah. And incidentally, the Shem angels are angels of the name. The word Shem in Hebrew means name. So Shem angel literally means name angel, or angel of the name. These are angels of the 72 names of the Shem HaMephoresh. And so anyways, Vehuiah. Now, many people will say, well, where's the sigil? Well, on my Facebook, I actually posted and individually labeled. All of the sigils as taken from the French manuscript. Okay. Welcome, 1434 or whatever. So on my Facebook, I actually posted the sigils of all 72 Shem angels for those that would like to work with that. However, I don't think it's necessary. I found the name itself. I did give instructions in a previous video for how to make a Shem angel pentacle, but I don't think it's at all necessary. I found some spirits to be very easy to work with, where you don't really require much. Specifically, I found the Olympic spirits of the Arbitel, and I found Shem angels to be two different groups of spirits that are very easy and very quick to work with, where you don't really need anything. So anyways, just the name. Vehuiah is the name of the Shem angel. Vehuiah. Again, the Shem angel governs from 0 up until 5 degrees of Aries. Vehuiah. This is Shem Angel 1. This Shem Angel governs arts and sciences, difficult undertakings. It has a martial quality and a drive. This is the angel number 1, that it's fiery, martial. It's setting the year into motion. These are the qualities given to the angel according to the science of Kabbalah, of Lazare Lenain. So Vehuiah. What other qualities could we ascribe to this angel? So obviously we have 0. It begins Aries. It begins all the Shem angels. Vehuiah. And it's associated with Aries and all these qualities. Also, the divine attribute is Deus Exaltator. This is from Athanasius Kircher's Oedipus Egyptiacus of 1654. So according to this 17th century text, which gives us the psalm verse and the divine attribute of the Shem angels, it actually lists this angel Vehuiah as a seraph. Okay, it's a seraph. The first, this is one of the seraphim. Okay, and the divine attribute is exalted God. So there's that exalted quality, and think of Aries and exaltation. So let's take a look again at this, at Vehuiah, because we're going to summon this angel together here. So Vehuiah. So there are many people that watch my videos that are seasoned magic practitioners, been doing this for decades, okay? And there's some people that this might be the first time that they do angel magic. So very simple, Vehuiah. This is Shem Angel number 1. Now, what I'm reading here is the science of Kabbalah. Now, as I said in my last video, I don't necessarily agree with everything in this book. I think it's a useful book. Anyone that wants to work with the Shem angels, I think it's useful to have this book as a reference. The Science of Kabbalah by Lazare Lenain. This is an important book. It was published in 1823. Now, my problem with this book, I think it's an excellent resource. In fact, I think it's a must-have, really. I use it for the offices. I think it's phenomenal in that sense. The issue I have with this book is that many people have just come to just interpret the whole tradition through the lens of this book. So we just need to keep in mind that this is just one perspective from the 19th century, by the way. This is just one guy's perspective in 1823. But it has very good offices. So anyways, basically, just take whatever you read with a grain of salt. That goes with anything, of course, But Athanasius Kircher also gives us the divine attribute, exalted God, and also the same psalm verse. The psalm verse, which is Psalm 3, verse 3, which is, But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, my glory and the lifter up of my head. Okay, so that is the psalm verse. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, my glory and the lifter up of my head. This is like a very proud, the exalted God is the divine attribute. And the psalm verse again, but thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, my glory and the lifter up of my head. So, following Athanasius Kircher from the 17th century to understand the Shem angel, kind of from a meditative approach, we would think of the divine attribute, which again is exalted God, Deus Exaltator. And then we think of the psalm verse, Psalm 3, verse 3, but you, O Lord, are a shield for me, my glory and the lifter up of my head. And putting these things together and thinking of the part of Aries that we we kind of get an idea of a sense of this angel. And of course, through direct invocation, we kind of directly experience its energies, okay? And then added to this in the 19th century, in 1823, we get this modern office. This is what it says. This is, now we're moving way forward to, this is in 1823, the divine office says, the person born under the influence of this genius has a skillful nature. They're blessed with great wisdom, a lover of the arts and sciences. So there's an arts and sciences, there's a knowledge or like a learning aspect to this. Capable of undertaking and executing the most difficult things. Having a love for military service due to influence of Mars. Having abundant energy due to the dominance of fire. So with this office and with everything else, you can kind of get an idea of this angel. So again, and then the Shem angel that begins tomorrow, Yeliel. Let's actually read a little bit about that. Yeliel has to do with like marital fidelity, or conjugal fidelity, reconciliation of couples, and so that's really cool. Yeliel begins a 5-day period beginning tomorrow. But today we're working with Vehuiah, which is Shem angel number 1. So we have the name Vehuiah and we have the Psalm verse. Psalm 3, verse 3. So putting this together, we're just going to call on the angel's name. We're going to do it 6 times because 6 is associated with the sun, and we're following the sun through the tropical zodiac as a way to work through these angels. Okay. So we're going to say the name of the angel 6 times. I encourage any of you at home that want to do the Shem angel magic with me. We're using a very simple devotional approach. If you would like to light a candle or light some incense, I encourage you to do so. And what we're going to do is you can intone, vibrate, intone, chant, or just say the name of the angel. Vehuiah. Okay, or not 6 times, any amount of times. Vehuiah. Vehuiah. Say the name with me, Vehuiah. Now, we need to keep in mind that the name of a thing, according to the theory of classical magic, the name itself is powerful. It is a divine link. We are already establishing contact with the name. Vehuiah. Vehuiah. So what we need to do is repeat the name while really putting our focus in establishing contact. Vehuiah. We are calling the angel. Vehuiah. Vehuiah. And now we're going to read the Psalm verse. Vehuiah. Let's call 6 more times, okay? We're going to do this together. Vehuiah. 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 We're going to read the Psalm verse. Traditionally, the Psalm verse goes with the call, with the Shem angels. Here we go. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, my glory and the lifter up of my head. Vehuiah. We call upon you, Vehuiah. Now, do y'all feel an energy? I feel an energy. Now, whether that be my own subjective whatever or what, so that's the question. Do you feel an energy? I definitely do. Right now. Yeah. So think, what do you want to ask Vehuiah for? I really encourage people to think of something that is close to your heart that is associated with the office. People often ask me, what should I ask for? I always respond the same. Something close to your heart. What is most important? What is the closest to your heart under the office? Vehuiah governs any kind of difficult undertaking. he sets motion for the year. He's good for goals for the whole year, any kind of difficult undertaking, and also learning Vehuiah. So think of something in the office, and this is like setting a wish, okay? We're like setting an intention or a wish, but what we're going to do is we're now going to ask Vehuiah for our goal. Now, I'm live on camera in front of people, and I don't want everyone to know my goal. It's a little private, but I'm going to talk to Vehuiah privately. I'm doing this for real, y'all. We are doing this for real. I'm going to talk to Vehuiah, and I encourage all of y'all at home to have a conversation with Vehuiah to ask what you want to ask for, okay? So now we get to the phase of petition. Now we're at the petition phase. You know what you want to ask for? Now's the time to have that conversation. Tell Vehuiah what you need, okay? So we're going to take a moment. We're doing the magic together. While you do that, I'm going to do that, okay? I'm going to do it silently. And I encourage y'all at home to ask Vehuiah for what you need, okay? So here we go. I feel like I'm established contact. I want to give everyone a chance, give everyone a little time to establish contact and to set your petition. Make sure it's something important to you. And I don't want to tell anyone else how to have their spiritual path, but my honest recommendation is that with Shem angels, don't ask for anything quote unquote immoral or overly self-centered. Just my honest opinion, but do whatever you want. My recommendation with Shem angels is make sure it's never anything too selfish, and then also make sure that you ask for something that's very important to you, close to your heart, that is actually under the office of the angel. So once again, Vehuiah governs difficult undertakings and things like that, and can help set the motion for the year. And I feel magical about this, because I know that for some people this is their first time. This is going to be their first time working with the Shem angel, and I think that's great. And for some people, no. Anyways, I'll be quiet. If y'all want to continue the conversation with the Shem angel, ask for you want to ask for. I'll be quiet for a moment, and we're gonna wrap this up together. We're making this happen, y'all. So we're all talking to Vehuiah here. I'm going to give my viewers a minute here. All right, y'all. If you're not watching live and you're not done, then of course you can pause at this point. If you're watching live and you're not ready, I'm sorry, we got to keep going, y'all. But if you're watching later on, if you're not done, you can pause and finish up your dialogue. Vehuiah. So we're about to wrap up, okay? So did y'all have an experience? Now's the time. Now that we spoke to the angel, we did the speaking part. Now I encourage us to do a listening, okay? So we're going to do this together. Hopefully all of you have spoken to the angel. You've spoken what you want. Now let's all take a moment of silence and listen to the angel. Okay, so we're going to listen to the angel together. Okay, Vehuiah. Vehuiah. We're going to listen to the angel together. Just listen for any kind of emotions that come to the surface, feelings, impressions, sensations, memories, anything. And if you have a pen and paper, I encourage you to write them down. So here we go. Just be receptive. So everyone just be receptive to Vehuiah. Close your eyes and be receptive here. Relax, close your eyes, take a deep breath. Just be receptive to anything you may receive from Vehuiah. Okay. Again, if you're watching later on, you can always pause at any point in this video if you need to write anything down. Okay. And then later on, we'll analyze this, okay? So just let's be receptive to any impressions from the angel. Okay. All right, so have y'all done that? Any impressions, anything? Now, one thing I like to tell people is just because we have an experience does not make it real. And I hate to say something like that so bluntly, but it's very important detail. Because there are many people that have quote-unquote channeled messages, and we need to always be skeptical. I think it's important to have the right attitude, which is to be open to possibilities, but also not to necessarily give objective reality to anything that we experience. Be open to it being real, but not necessarily to jump to conclusions because we have an experience. Just because we have an experience doesn't make it objectively real. But that's just important if you're going to if you're going to engage in psychedelics, or if you're going to engage in deep, like, psychological work, or if you're going to engage in like really hardcore, like ritual magic or yoga or any kind of spiritual practice like that, I think it's important to bring the right attitude. And yeah, so that I'm just honest opinion here. So hi, how are you doing? So today we're working with Vehuiah, the Shem angel, and this is actually the very first angel of the Shem HaMephoresh. And if you're tuning in late or watching later on, and some people use no timing. If people watch this in a month, you can still work with this. But those that are following the timing of the sun through the tropical zodiac, this is the last day of working with Vehuiah. This is Shem Angel 1. This is the perfect time to jump in and work on this together with these angels. Okay, Vehuiah. But we just did our working with Vehuiah, and I feel honored because I know that there's somebody out there. There's some people out there, I know much more than one, that they've never worked with a Shem angel, and this got to be like their first chance. I don't know. I feel so honored. And I believe that this is very transformative. Okay. But anyway, so Vehuiah, we thank you for spending this time with us, Vehuiah. And we ask that you grant us your blessings, Vehuiah, and we bid you peacefully depart. Goodbye and farewell. Goodbye and farewell, Vehuiah. Goodbye and farewell. Okay, so mote it be. Now, and traditionally, in a lot of traditions of magic, it's good to give a license to depart. Tell the angel when you're ready to end communication, okay? So, Vehuiah, we thank you, we bid you peacefully depart, goodbye and farewell. Okay, just a good practice, just in case. Good practice. That's been drilled in my head since I was, I don't know, probably a teenager doing magic, Always bid goodbye to any forces that you invoke. Their influences are still there. Their influences are still going to continue. Okay, but they may take their leave, Look at it that way. So we did it. Yay, everybody. Congratulations. You just did Shem Angel magic. Now, are there more elaborate methods? Certainly. Could you have a robe made of pure flaxseed and linen, and have marked into the ground a circle with the 72-fold name of God wound about it after fasting for 3 days and at the proper whatever? Yeah, you can do all of that, burning fresh frankincense and myrrh at your horizon, and the sun is rising over the horizon. I mean, yeah, you can do all that in magic. In fact, honestly, my opinion, actually, I really like doing really elaborate rituals with the crystals and the incense. I'm not at all like dissing that. But what I'm saying is you don't have to have that for these spirits to manifest. You can just do a simple call out their name, recite the psalm verse. Now, I would not use that open method with just any spirits. I would only do that with very, very, very positive spirits. I wouldn't do that with any chaotic spirits that can be unpredictable or fiery or hot. Like any kind of quote unquote fiery or hot spirits. Me personally, I would not use an open altar method like that. Shem angels, maybe planetary, intelligences, stuff like that. Yeah, archangels, yeah. But not fiery, unpredictable, fiery hot spirits. I personally would not use an open method. But for Shem angels, absolutely. Call the angel's name, recite the psalm verse, burn little incense, light a candle. Tell the angel what you want, dismiss the angel, tell it goodbye and farewell. Simple, easy. So, yep. And then now, today is the last day for this angel, and then tomorrow, and also recently I talked about different methods for working with Shem angels or just working with spirits in general for grimoire magic. And I've talked about modern methods like astral projection with the spirits and grimoires. I've talked about astral projection. I've talked about scrying, of using a wine glass with water. Let's say you don't have a crystal ball. You could use a wine glass filled with water. I would say holy water from a church, or holy water that you make yourself, consecrated water. I've heard of some people using wine, a glass of wine. That's pretty interesting. Many different methods that people use to try to interact, and I think it's good to experiment. Some people's quote unquote sigil scry. I talked about these methods, and then I talked about the hardcore methods of just having a clear crystal ball, or having a clear crystal ball elevated above incense smoke. I've talked about these different techniques. But anyways, so today is the last day for working with Vehuiah, which is Shem Angel 1, and then tomorrow we're going to start with Shem Angel number 2. Shem Angel number 2, when the sun enters 5 degrees of Aries, we're going to shift gears. So we have the rest of today. I'm posting this in the early morning. We have the rest of the today. And then tomorrow we're going to have Jeliel. So looking towards tomorrow, what does Jeliel govern? Jeliel Okay, hold on. Okay, so Yeliel. So according to the science of Kabbalah, once again, like I said, Shem angels are a tradition that go back centuries. The science of Kabbalah was written in 1823 by Lazare Lenain. My point is, now, I do love what he uses for the office. I've never had a problem using his offices. When I ask a Shem angel for something that goes under his offices, I get results, and so do many other people. I love his office. He gives like a complete office of each Shem angel. But I always say, take this guy with a grain of salt, because it's just a book that was written in 1823, okay? He doesn't speak for the whole Shem angel tradition, but we're going to use his office. What does it say about Jeliel that begins tomorrow? What's it say? It says, this genius rules over kings and princes and keeps their subjects obedient. And I guess you can stretch that to be like, let's say you happen to be a boss at a workplace or anywhere where there's a hierarchy, and you're worried about like keeping, I guess, workers, doing what they need to do, whatever. I'm trying to think of how we can reinterpret this in a modern setting. Most of us are not kings and princes, okay? But this genius rules over kings and princes and keeps their subjects obedient. He has influence over the generation of all beings which exist in the animal kingdom. Sounds like a fancy way of saying animal procreation, animal babies. He reestablishes peace between spouses. He reestablishes peace between spouses. So he reestablishes peace between spouses and maintains conjugal fidelity. This is Yeliel. Those born under this influence have a cheerful spirit, agreeable and genteel manners. They are passionate in sex. So, Yeliel is very much associated with couples and romance and reconciliation of couples and conjugal fidelity and reconciling spouses. And it even says influence over the generation of all beings which exist in the animal kingdom. So I guess like animal births, like if you lived on a farm, the birth of animals. And so couples, things like that. And then also the thing about the hierarchy thing. Okay, so interesting. So Yeliel. I think what probably, if anybody has any concern, or maybe someone's looking for their person. Maybe some people, they just want to find love, It's interesting. I found love this way. You could if let's say someone's single and they decide, well, they would like to have love or whatever, ask Yeliel. It's coming up tomorrow. Or let's say that you really believe, let's say you're having relationship problems, but you believe that it's really the right thing to try to salvage. Now, here's the thing about angels, is you cannot force angels what to do. You cannot force an angel. And an angel is not going to take away free will. But what an angel might do is an angel might help both people to see more clearly so that they can reconcile. An angel may help to heal, or may help a couple to heal resentment. So angels are not going to take away free will. They're not going to make someone fall in love with you or fall back. No. Angels, in my opinion, you cannot force angels to do your bidding. And angels can tell you no, and angels are not going to bend someone to force them to be with you. But what this angel can do, in my opinion, is heal problems. when people are just arguing needlessly for no reason. Sometimes couples are fighting for no reason, really. They don't have to fight. They could heal. There is, and love in general and fertility. And so anyways, Yeliel has to do with conjugal fidelity and romance and reconciliation of spouses and maybe if you're looking for love, things like that. So that's coming up starting tomorrow. That's a 5-day period. So what I really encourage people to do is during that 5-day period of the angel to really think about what is really important to you. So if you're always really thinking about what's important to you throughout the year, every 5 days you're switching to another part of your life where you're really thinking about what's important to you. You're constantly thinking about what's important. This by itself is helping you to prioritize the important things, to really think about what's important to you in life, and to weed out all the crap that really doesn't matter. This simplification in itself is transformative. Then you have the powerful Shem angel magic that is transformative. So anyways, I really think that this will change many people's lives this year. Those of you that are about to start working with the Shem angels for the first time, I genuinely believe that this magic will change many of your lives this year. Many of you that are listening or will listen to this video that are going to work with the Shem angels for the first time, I really think this will change a lot of your lives. I believe that. I've seen this happen. I'm a believer, and my life has changed, and I'm very excited to take part or to share this. So today is the last day of Vehuiah. Tomorrow we're going to start working with Yeliel. So that's it for today. And then also I wanted to announce that I'm going to start reading through Agrippa. In my videos, as I go through these videos, I more or less find what works for me. And I did have it all jumbled together, where I would draw a geomantic chart thing, which I still think that's cool. And then I would read a section and talk about it, and then but it was all over the place. As its own thing, I would like to read Agrippa. So the 3 books of occult philosophy, and but it's going to open up straight into reading. So someone that wants to listen to Agrippa. So one cool thing about that is, many of you have heard Agrippa many times, read Agrippa many times. Many of you are veterans, but you could still listen to Agrippa. And but there are many people that maybe they've never heard Agrippa before. They've never read Agrippa. Maybe they would have never normally been exposed to Agrippa. Now they're going to be able to listen to Agrippa in these videos. So that's coming up. It's going to be its own thing. But I'm actually starting this in Aries with the equinox. It's now in the northern hemisphere. It's the spring equinox with Aries, the new astrological year. I'm about to begin reading the 3 books of occult philosophy. I'm going to start with book 1, chapter 1, the 3 books of occult philosophy. So we're going to be doing that, kind of my own little audiobook thing. But that's going to be its own thing. All right. So, Kato said, "This is also my first time with them, and I have regularly started geomancy methods, but I'm still more confident with I Ching. But I'm doing it more than I Ching to get more confident with it. I think that it's always good to expand. I really like the I Ching too. I found the I Ching to be very, very good. And also geomancy. Very good. Very cool stuff. All right. So, let's see here. Kato said, by tomorrow, do you mean first sunlight on Sunday? So let me find the exact time. Oh, I can't. so, it's going to shift angels in about 24 hours from now. Basically, dang it, I don't have my access to my app right now to see when the sun enters into 5 degrees of Aries. I think it's in like 24 hours from now, basically. So this is the early morning. So basically all day today we have with Vehuiah, and then we're going to switch over to Jeliel. So, yeah. Yep. So, and I don't want people to get too hung up on the timing. Basically, the rest of today for Vehuiah, and then tomorrow, like the rest of today, like this is the early morning, the whole rest of today, all day today, with Vehuiah, and then tomorrow with Yeliel. But I don't want people to get too hung up on the timing. Angels are not on a timer. And an angel is not going to be like, well, I really want to help him, but you're about a day late, buddy. Sorry, little Timmy. I wanted to help little Timmy, but he was about an hour late, it was outside my hour. No. The Shem angels are not bound. But many people find timing to be useful and more effective for some reason. I mean, otherwise, if nobody found timing useful or found it more effective, if no one found that to be true, then timing would never have existed to start with. No one would have ever used timing to start with. Clearly, just the fact that timing exists shows that many people have found it useful. I found timing to be useful. However, the flip side of that is we don't want to be just bound by it, So basically, I don't want people to get too hung up on the time. We got the rest of today for Vehuiah, then tomorrow Yeliel, but whatever, we shouldn't get too hung up on the time. Let's see. Sunrise is my favorite prayer time. Yep, so today would be perfect for Vehuiah then. Today would be perfect for angel number 1, Vehuiah. Yep. The sunrise is an excellent time. I love sunrise and sunset, and these are sacred times in many ancient cultures. And of course, it begins the planetary hours. I love sunrise, sunset, and things like that. So anyways, that is it for today, and there'll be more videos coming out. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day, and I just wanted to say thank you for watching, and those of you watching live, thank you for taking active part and stopping by to say hello and leaving comments. I really appreciate it. I know it's really early. It's like really early in the morning. Or is it late or early? Depends on your perspective. But you made it here to comment, so I really appreciate it. So yep, more videos to come. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Have a great day, everyone. Come on. There we go. All right. Now, that's damn bloopers. Damn blue. I'm like, have a good day, everyone. And then there's like a long, awkward. Dang, it'll be okay. All right, y'all. All right. And y'all have a great day as well. Hello, Edgar. All right, y'all. See y'all in the next video. Have a great day, y'all.